Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for joining me once again. It's beautiful November 22nd here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this is Upon Further Review with Sean Tomlin. I'm your host, Sean Tomlin, and today we got guests on the show. We've got Graeme Hardaker right over here. Give him a big round of applause, guys.
Graeme!
And then we got Simon sitting over here, Simon Pettifer.
Simon!
Both of these guys are in our fantasy football league, the Clusterfuck 2. So we're going to have some interesting comments going on with all of the action that happened around the NFL in the last week. So we're going to start everything off with our weekly breakdown of last week's action. On Thursday Night Football, we had the Eagles beating the Commanders 26-18. Commanders looked really good in that game. The Eagles looked really good in that game, sorry. Commanders were looking a little bit flat, but they still had a pretty good match. We'll move over to Sunday's action. We had the Colts beating the Jets 28-27. It was not a game-winning field goal. It was actually an awesome touchdown run by Anthony Richardson. So it was good to see him back in the fold. Next, we had the Packers beating the Broncos 20-19 on a blocked game-winning field goal. That was pretty cool to see. I think everyone would agree on that one. The Lions just fucking dominated the Jags at 52-6. It was quite something to see. That every single running back they fucking had probably had a fucking TD that day. Next, we had the Rams beating the Pats 28-22. And the Saints beat down the Browns 35-14, which we're going to be going to see the Denver Broncos taking on the Raiders this weekend. So that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah,
we'll get into that a little bit later. Obviously, you got a Raiders fan sitting next to us here.
Yep.
So then we have the Steelers beating the Rams 18-16. The Vikings beat the Titans 23-13. It wasn't a good match by either one in those matches. So we're not really going to say anything about that. Broncos beat the Falcons 38-6. Broncos were just dominant. 49ers, they lost to the Seahawks 20-17. You'd think a game-winning field goal, but no. Apparently the Seahawks were able to just do it normally. Love seeing not those one-footed wonders fucking taking everything out and taking all the fun out of all the fucking NFL action. Then we had the last game in the afternoon on Sunday was the Bills beating the Chiefs 30-21. Definitely didn't see that one coming.
Oh, thank God for that. I think everybody here
at least they're not
to see that.
Well, at least they're not going to be. Allen's not going to be fucking crying because they lost to him in overtime again.
Oh man, that run though, that was sick.
Oh, that was he fucking went off like a fucking jet.
Goddamn.
To round out Sunday's action, we had Sunday Night Football with the Chargers beating the Bengals 34-17. A good match by John Harbaugh. That team is starting to look like it's taken some control under his leadership there, but it's the Chargers and the Bengals, so I don't really have too much to say on that guy. Monday Night Football, we had the Texans beating the Cowboys 34-10. I've been hoping for so many weeks that the Cowboys were to just start rocking it, but it just has not happened at all.
How do you feel about that one?
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, Jerry Jones has really shit the bed this year.
I
think that's a little bit of an understatement.
Can you shut up about the sun already?
Yeah, well, we know where the sun is and the moon is.
Shut up about the sun.
You gotta stop fucking talking about that goddamn sun.
Mr. All-In Jerry Jones, he's really just gone too geriatric and has no idea how to feel.
Geriatric Jones.
He's losing it, man. He's losing it.
Yeah.
Now we got Dak Prescott.
We got a modern day Al Davis.
Yeah, we got Dak Prescott on a monster contract they can't get out of. They're going to have a high draft pick, and what? Now they're going to draft a lineman? Cool. They can't even draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Raiders.
It's one of those fucking kind of shitty situations because you have Cooper Rush, which isn't a great quarterback.
he's not the worst.
But he's not the worst. He's not Dak Prescott. But obviously, like you said, they're locked into Dak Prescott for at least 4 years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, look what happened with the Giants and Daniel Jones.
Well, we'll definitely be getting to that one a little bit
Pretty
later.
interesting stuff.
You're all going to want to stay tuned to hear about Mr. Daniel Jones and all his fun little shit that's been going on. All right. Well, then we're going to move on to my picks for next week, week 12. And last week, if you'd followed my picks, you probably would have went 10-4. I think that's a pretty good number. Overall, from the beginning of the season, 75-43. So it kind of seems like I know what I'm doing, but time will tell. So for Thursday Night Football, which already happened, We were going to do this episode yesterday, but we got to Vegas and we decided to get a little bit fucked up. So that didn't happen.
When in Rome, my friend.
When in Rome. Fucking who let those motherfucking dogs out? I had the Steelers beating the Browns, and obviously the Steelers did.
I picked
Or the Browns did end up beating the Steelers, so
Yeah.
wrong on that pick.
I
Already,
made
that's
something of that thing,
one
yeah.
one loss right there. Sunday morning's action, we got the Colts going up against the Lions. I wonder who I'm going to pick. Do you guys know who I'm going to pick? I think I'm going to pick the Colts, but it's probably going to be the Lions, so don't take my word on it for that one, but I'm a little bit biased.
Do you happen to know what the spread on that is?
I don't actually know what happened to Simon, do you know the spread on that? Maybe you can look that up
We
for
can
us.
pull
I
it
think
up.
it might be two
If you want to
touchdowns
keep
on the
going
Lions.
forward,
I
and
think
I
they
can
might
pull
cover
up
it.
the spread on the
I think they'll cover that. I think that's probably a pretty good one where they want to get over on DraftKings or Bodog or something like that. Shout out. Well, Simon's looking that up here for us. Next, I got the Commanders going up against the Cowboys. I'm going to take the Commanders on that one. Cowboys just, I hate picking against them because I really, honestly do. They're probably like my second favorite team. I really do want to see them like succeed, but I just don't see it happening this year.
There's no possible way that the Cowboys defense right now can even come close to slowing down the Commanders offense.
Well, Jalen Daniels is looking like a beast with fucking Scary Terry fucking running
It
around.
looks
out
like
there.
the Colts are. The Lions are -7 right now.
Minus 7. I'll take that spread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, they're probably going to end up winning by
Yeah.
fucking like 17
Yeah,
or
I'm gonna
something.
put my house
Come
on
on.
that spread.
I hate to say it, but I think they're going to fucking
Ah.
lose hard. Richardson's been doing good since he came back. I'm
You know-
very happy to see Richardson actually playing again and then not going to Flacco.
Last week we saw Goff's just fucking go off. So
What was it, 5 TDs?
he had, I think it was 4, but it was almost 50 points overall. It was 48 points.
Like I said before, like pretty much every single fucking running back for the
Yeah.
Lions had a fucking touchdown.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the water boy and 2 cheerleaders got touchdowns in that game.
No Gatorade that day.
For my next Sunday morning pick, I've got the Chiefs going against the Panthers, and the Chiefs are gonna fucking take that one. I hate taking the Chiefs. I got a little bit of a hatred. They're almost like my new Patriots to me. But the Panthers are fucking hot garbage, so they're not gonna fucking win. There's just not a fucking way. They're gonna get a couple. They have gotten 2, 3, something like that.
Yeah.
But you know that.
I hope they keep winning.
Do you think
I
there's
want to see the Raiders
Yeah.
get a really good draft pick.
There is, honestly, in a game against the Chiefs, there is a high possibility that the Panthers can fucking shock everyone and take that one. But I just don't think I can take that. Next, we got the Vikings going against the Bears. I'm going to take the Vikings on that one because, well, the Bears have been up and down. Like, they have pieces, but I think there was something that every single new quarterback that they've had come in, from Mitch Trubisky to Justin Fields, they've had both they've had both a new GM and a new head coach, or a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator for their entire time. And as soon as they get the next one, they just get rid of that quarterback.
Yeah.
So
That's a system issue, not a player issue.
no, it's definitely not a player issue, because obviously seeing Justin Fields what he did earlier in the year with the Steelers, it's obviously Mitch Trubisky's a whole different one because he just kind of fucking flew.
Well, I mean, Trubisky.
Yeah. Next, we got the Titans going against the Texans. Texans have just been looking awesome, and the Titans just haven't had it with DeMarco Murray 2.0 with Mr. Tony Pollard there. Then we got the Pats going up against the Dolphins. Fucking hate the Pats. So just like every single other episode, you can do whatever you want with that pick. You can pick them if you want, but I'm going Dolphins because I am not ever picking a Patriot. Fuck Patriots. Fuck every single Patriot. I don't fucking care. Tom Brady can suck my dick.
Gronkowski's kind of cool, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's taking so many fucking shots to the head. Fuck.
And he ain't
He didn't have much to begin with, but then for the last of the morning games, I got the Bucks going up against the Giants, and I'm taking the Bucks for that one. Obviously, we'll figure out later when we talk about what's going on with the Giants why I'm even more leaning towards the Bucks. But just like the Panthers, the Giants have been hot garbage.
It's DeVito season, baby.
Oh,
Tommy
fuck.
Cutlets might get it close, keep it than you might think.
Maybe.
Tyrone Tracy Jr. is running phenomenal right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he has been doing pretty
agree with
good.
you there.
Bucks defense
Oh,
is pretty
man.
good.
I was an idiot picking up Singletary, thinking he'd be the RB1 for that
Baker
team.
can go into slumps, and you never know.
Yeah, he has been up and down, but he has been looking a lot better since he's been in Tampa Bay for
Yeah,
sure.
we'll see what happens with that changeup.
So to finish off the Sunday afternoon matchups, we've got the 49ers going up against the Packers. Packers have been looking great. Jordan Love's been looking good. Obviously, Josh Jacobs is thriving in that offense, and it seems like any single one of the wide receivers you could pick any week for a wide receiver to put into your lineup, but they seem to just kind of like shuffle them around. It's like either Watson, Dobbs, Jalen Reed. And then some days you're just like, holy shit, fucking Kraft is getting them too.
Yeah, and then he drops a fucking 0 on you last week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
that's
gotta
always-
love that.
It didn't matter. I still smoked Simon in that week, but
You know what?
0 wasn't very nice.
If it wasn't for Goff that week, I would have been dead out of the water, man.
Of course, this week he'll probably go off and get 3 touchdowns because I moved him out of my lineup.
Of course.
Yeah.
Although I do really feel like putting Packers guys in while I'm playing up against Shane, just in case they go off against him.
Hear
I know how
that,
much
Shane?
I know how
You
much I
gotta
like
feel
that.
it.
And obviously the 49ers, they got CMC going back. Obviously his first game back, they had him, it almost seemed like on a load management, but he's still going over 100 yards. So I think it's safe to say CMC is coming back. They got Jennings, obviously to replace Ayuk, who went on IR.
Yeah.
And then they got Debo going, and Purdy's been doing great. I think it's up in the air still if George Kittle's going to be playing. I haven't exactly checked that yet, but that will be something you might want to monitor if you've got him in your fantasy lineup.
Kittle's a beast. If he's questionable and he can play, he will play.
I think it's like a toe or something. Rip that shit off. Get the fuck out there.
Guys.
Who was that got like their finger amputated or something? So
I think that was Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, that's crazy. Remember when Njoku had his face burnt off?
Yeah.
It was like, I will play if I can get a helmet on. And that's the kind of dedication we need in this league.
Oh, fuck, yeah. You don't want to be tapping out on fucking third down because you're tired.
Fuck no.
Oh, come on, Richardson. Next matchup, we got the Cards going against Seahawks. I'm going to take the Seahawks in that one. Cards have been looking really good lately, but also the Seahawks have kind of, over the past 3 weeks, gotten into a bit of a roll, a little bit of momentum on their side. So I think Seahawks are going to take that one. And then we've got the Raiders going up against the Broncos, which yours truly is going to be at the game with these fellows. And our lovely cameraman, just on the other side there, Mr. Jonathan Conway. He's going to be there at the game with us, and I know Simon's going to hate this one, but I got the Broncos winning in that one.
You know what? I think we all do. Unfortunately, I'm not that delusional. But
Hey, I pick the Colts every single week, whether
man,
they're fucking going up against somebody good or somebody
man,
bad.
dude,
Like, I'm
like,
picking the Colts every
oh,
single
man,
week.
we
And
all-
I'm never picking the
we all
Patriots,
went
so.
on the stadium tour today, and it was such a nice stadium. We got to see the locker room and all that jazz. It was quite something.
Yeah, we'll touch on the stadium tour a little bit more in the final thoughts. But if you had noticed earlier today, I put out a short for the first time, a little reel, just outside of Legion Stadium there. I was going to do some footage in the back, do a little bit of reels and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get any content for that. We weren't allowed to record anything. So I got some pictures that maybe I'll try and get up onto the Facebook site once we get that going, and maybe on Instagram there for you.
When we were in the tour, they told us specifically 10 times not to do this one thing. And I didn't choose not to listen, but I just did it anyway.
Don't listen to anybody.
Oh, fuck, man. I sat down in Al Davis's suite, and they're like, do not sit in any of these seats. And they said it like 10 times, and I'm like, doop, 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 doop. And I was like, oh, fuck. And these guys were all like, what are you doing, son? Get out. You're not supposed to sit there. And then the security guard was like, let me take a picture of you. Oh, okay. Guess it wasn't that big a deal after all.
He was actually pretty impressed that he did it. He was like, I need a picture of that. So then next we got our Sunday night football matchup. Eagles are going up against the Rams. Got to take the Eagles on that one because Saquon Barkley, he looks insane. He's the fucking 2.0 version of Barry Sanders.
Did you say Szechuan Barkley?
Saquon.
Oh.
But I put a little bit of shot in there. He's got a.
Well, he is Szechuan because he
Szechuan.
I think
he
we're all-
is all over the place. He's jumping backwards over fucking people making yards.
And
New York
we're
Giants are looking
honestly a
like
little
Wolves.
hungry here.
Then we'll finish off our second portion here of the episode with our Monday night football matchup pickup, which is going to be the Ravens going up against the Chargers, and I'm taking the Ravens in that one because, like I've said before, the Ravens are sick as fuck. They are just sick. Like, they are fucking awesome. They got Henry, Flowers, fucking Quentin Johnson now, Deontay Johnson, Justice Hill, Lamar Jackson, of course, Mark Andrews, likely, like, anything that they have at their disposal. If they don't make a good run this year.
The defense is still about
Oh,
the
yeah.
pass funnel. They're not quite solid. If they get some, unfortunately, they should have made some trades at the deadline to shore up that DB room. They're letting big plays down the middle of the field, and that's really hurting their Super Bowl chances right now.
Yeah.
But that offense can just score at will.
Oh, yeah, so it's like, it's tough to say. And especially over the past couple of seasons, as soon as the Ravens get into that December type thing, they really start to fucking kick it up. And they really start to look like, okay, maybe I was wrong about this defense earlier on. So we'll never know what happens because the Ravens are just like synonymous with great defense. So that's the second part of the show. We're going to move on to the third part of the show. My top threes at all the positions in fantasy football this week. Started off, we had our QBs. Jared Goff with 48 plus points, Bo Nix with 39 plus points, and Matthew Stafford with 39 plus points.
Garf.
Garf.
Finally pulled it off for me.
Yeah.
But not enough for me.
And Bo Nix got 39 points. Fuck. They didn't start him that week. Running backs, we had Joe Mixon with 36 plus points, Saquon Barkley, Saquon Barkley, 34 plus points, and Breece Hall with 31 plus points. Even though Hall was going up against my Colts, I was still like, holy shit, this guy's doing fucking good. Although the rest of the fucking Jets are apparently just a fucking dumpster fire, but he was getting good fucking yards.
Wilson's honestly doing me well this season.
Wilson's getting consistent targets.
We'll see how it goes.
I think it helps a little bit that they have Devontae Adams there. Not that he's fucking great anymore or anything like that,
Well,
but deflecting a little bit.
Yeah, we got
Oh.
Devontae taking the point corner, and then Wilson can kind of pick up the others. With Lazard out, it works out well.
It doesn't matter how many star players you have if you don't win games or nothing.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
man.
Totally.
Doesn't matter.
Raider Nation.
Then we'll move on to our wide receivers. We had the sun god, Amon St. Brown, fucking
Stop-
taking out 39
stop
plus
talking
points.
about the sun.
It's fucking man, that fucking guy shines bright. And then we had Mr. T. Higgins. Fuck you for fucking starting T. Higgins.
Were you
me.
against Jamar Chase the one week he went off, and then the next week T. Higgins, and then the week he went off? Okay.
Yeah.
Just check.
Yeah, I'm having a bad streak with Bengals wide receivers against me. So, like I said, Higgins, he had 31 plus points. And then Cooper Kupp was starting to take back some relevancy in fantasy football with 30 plus points. So then our tight ends. The top one here, which I'm really excited I was able to get in right at the last fucking second. I totally spaced on it. And then at the last second, I noticed Kittle was out, and I was like, oh, I just randomly picked Johnny Smith.
Oh, that was such a good pickup.
Actually, no, he's number 3, actually. The top one was Taysom the Terrible. Fucking 3 touchdowns. He's, like I've said before, he's like, you'll put him in, and he'll get you 0.1 of a point. He'll do fucking nothing. And then you take him out in the next week, he gets you like fucking 42 points.
I picked him up on waivers. He's on bye this week, so that's how I was able to sneak him in.
The guy's like,
I'm going to start him next week.
he's an Inspector Gadget. You never know. what
Probably
he's
going to get sacked 3 times and have -2 points.
Or he'll throw a touchdown, catch a touchdown, and run a touchdown.
Not
Yeah.
when I start.
Not when you start him, no.
Not when any of us.
And then I'll drop him, and he's going to go off.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's the way the
And then,
Tyson Mills goes.
Simon's team's tight end, Bowers, with 32 plus points. He came in at second. And Jonnu Smith, I was just talking about, who I picked up at the last second for the Dolphins, with 30 plus points.
Cleaned it up, man.
Yeah, he fucking helped me out, but not enough. Obviously I didn't put in Jameson. Jameis Williamson. Yeah, Jameis Williamson.
James.
If Brock Bowers doesn't win Rookie of the Year,
Well, it's going to be one of the two quarterbacks. That
I think it's
offensive
Bonix or James.
He'll get offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I think there's an offense and a defense player of the year, and then an overall.
And then there's an MVP.
An MVP.
Or whatever it is.
Who cares? He's really good. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
He's
it's
absurd.
fucking
Bowers.
He's fucking
I
awesome.
think you were looking at a generational tight end. We're looking at a Gronk or a Kelsey.
Yeah, I think he could even be better than those guys because those guys took years to
I think
come on and
To get there.
and this guy Brock Bowers, he came in
right away, week 4, hit it off, and
you know, when you're talking Gronk and Kelsey, look at the quarterbacks they've had.
Oh, yeah.
Between them, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Smith.
we got a Minshew or O'Connell
Exactly.
or a
Yeah.
Riddler.
He's doing that with them.
And imagine
Yeah.
doing that with a mediocre quarterback.
Yeah. It's hard for the Raiders to get
Man can dream,
anything. Really
can't
can.
he?
So we'll finish off the top threes with our defenses of the week. It was the Texans with 33 plus points, the Ravens with 28 plus, and the Vikings defense with 28 plus points. And to finish off this segment, we've got my top 5 waiver wire pickups of the week. These are guys that are available in Clusterfuck. They may not be available in other leagues, so keep that in mind. Justin Herbert, I think he's going to be somebody that you're going to want to pick up and get into your lineup.
I think he's unavailable because I already picked him up.
Yeah.
Yes, well,
It was
you know, when I wrote this, he was available.
Pick up there, Graeme.
Somebody that I dropped, which still somebody picked up, like Xavier Worthy. Even with DeAndre Hopkins there, he's one of those players that can just get you big points in a short amount of time. He's got a very low ceiling.
Yeah.
He's got a very
as long as he gets those
low
long,
floor,
long
but he's got a high
catches, right?
ceiling for you there.
Yeah.
Christian Watson, like I was talking about, he's available out there. Actually, he might not be. Somebody might have already picked him up in the league. But like I was saying, like, you know, the carousel that they've been doing with like one wide receiver is just going off one week after the other. It's never really consistent. Zach Ertz, he's the top tight end on the waiver wire right now, and Taysom Hill, but for tight end, but Graeme also picked up Mr. Hill. So really, the only person probably available on here is Ertz. And if you need a tight end, he's probably going to be somebody that you need to go ahead, stash, or even throw into your lineup this weekend.
Yeah.
Ertz,
donut.
Yeah, when you're looking at the Commanders at the beginning of the season, really thought that they drafted a rookie tight end named Ben Sinnott, and he was a really high prospect. Looked like he was going to be taken over.
But
really
he did not.
They've really not used him at all, and Zach Ertz is the man there, and he's gotten tons of targets every week.
And he's been a consistent threat throughout the years.
What year is he in the league now? With 14? Like
No, I don't think he's at 14.
He's a stinky.
I think he
man.
came in like 2016, 2015, something like that.
I thought it was older than that, but I could be wrong.
Well,
it is what it is.
segment 3's done. We're going to move on to our 4th segment of the night. We're going to go over all the action that happened in Clusterfuck 2's league over this past weekend. So in our first matchup, we had my team, the Monty Lake Colts, losing to Nate's team, Billy Bob Thornton Jr. One of the two. It's a strange name, Nathan. But I ended up losing to you 179-75 to 163-70. My 2 top players were Tua Tagovailoa with 30 plus points, and Jonnu Smith, who I was just talking about before, with 30 plus. Nate, you were led by Brock Bowers, another guy we were just talking about, and T. Higgins, 32 and 31 plus points apiece. So I led by 7 points going into that Monday night match, or after the first half of our matchup. And then, you know, I had just under a 40-point, lead going into Monday night. And what happened? Well, apparently Ladd McConkey and T. Higgins decided to fuck me.
Again.
And it was
Again, eh?
something that really pissed me off. But Nathan, makes you happy because you clinched yourself a playoff berth. You can no longer finish outside the playoffs, and you finished dead last year, bringing home our Rudy. So that's got to feel good for you getting into the playoffs for the first time in the league. Now, one more loss by Lawson clinches a place in the Shooter McGavin division for Sean, which will be nice. I kind of hope that happens. That'd be fun. Nate, overall, it's the second time that you've beat me in our matchups this year. And you're 2-1 overall in our matchups altogether. So give yourself a pat on the back. You're beating the commish. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, keep
Hope
it
you're
up.
feeling good.
We all feel good about it.
Yeah, well, you.
Yeah.
And one more loss, like I was saying, by tie actually will clinch me a playoff berth in the Shooter McGavin division, getting into the playoffs there. Our next matchup, we have the Sawyer Bowl. Two brothers going up against each other. Lawson, he lost to Caden. 128-10 to 121-55. Before I move on to the rest of that one, Nate, you're sitting at 8-3 with the win. With the loss, I'm sitting at 4-7. So with the loss, Lawson, you're at 6-5. Caden, you're at 8-3. You're leading the Happy Gilmore division in our league. Lawson, you were led by Puka Nakua at 25 plus points, and Smith Najigba. I hope I'm saying that right. 22 plus
Yes,
points.
Smith Nagimba.
Najigba? Najigba.
Either way, he's coming out to be a WR1.
Yeah, and he's
Silent
looking like it without
player.
DK.
He's
right
looking
there.
slick these days.
Caden, you were led by Joe Burrow with 36 plus points, and the Ravens defense with 28 plus points. So good right there. Good. Lawson, you secured your second overall playoff berth in as many years. Caden, you also secured a playoff berth. And trailing by 3 points, getting into Monday, Caden, you ended up winning by 9. So good for you. Give yourself a pat on the back there for you. Caden, you're going to like this one. You've beaten your brother every single time you guys have had a match. So every single Sawyer girl, you are just beating the shit out of your little brother. So that's going to fucking feel good for you, bud. 3-0 all time against him. Got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
And we're going to move on to our next matchup. We've got Dan's team. Oh, forgot to say Lawson's team, my favorite name in the league. Andy Reid ain't a beat.
Oh, fuck yeah, baby. Shove it in.
I fucking hate that fucking name. And then we got Caden, golf is better. Well, you may think that, but you're probably wrong. Into our next matchup. Dan, you're with your team past the Dutch. You end up losing to Shane's team, the GB Packers. With a loss, Dan, you're at 4-7. With the win, Shane, you're at 6-5. Dan, you were led by Josh Allen with 28 plus points, and the Bills' defense 21 plus points. So, obviously the Bills helped you get that victory there. Shane, you were led by Mixon with 36 plus, and Cooper Kupp with 30 plus points. So, a good showing for you, but wasn't enough, bud.
Bill's defense is really lighting it up the last couple of weeks.
They really have. Overall, they've been looking like a pretty good team.
Pretty solid.
Dan, you ended up staying alive in the playoffs with a loss by this guy over here on the weekend. So, keep your momentum going. Keep it going. A loss next week by Dan or Simon gives Shane a spot at the playoffs. So, Shane, you take a 3-1 lead over Dan's team in your all-time matchups head-to-head. So, that's got to feel really good for you, especially over Shane.
Never lost, so what do I know?
And then in our next matchup, we had Simon's team, this little guy over here, with the Mark Davis Bull Cup. They ended up losing to this guy's fucking team, Graeme over here, Cheese Spot.
Again.
With a victory, Graeme sitting at 7-4. Simon, we're sitting at 4-7.
What's our old time between me
We're
and Graeme?
gonna fucking get there.
Yeah.
It's a 133.85 victory for Graeme to 118.90. Huge performance by CD Lamb to get him that victory on Monday night.
Oh, God, he kicked me.
Jared Goff led your team, Simon, with 48 plus points.
All he did was give me hope.
And James Cook, another fucking Bill, with 19 plus. Graham's team was undoubtedly led by Barkley with 34 plus, and the Broncos defense with 27 plus. Graeme clinched a playoff berth with a victory this weekend, and Simon stays alive with a loss by Dan. So either way, Dan loses. You're both in. You're both not fucking dead
I
yet.
don't know. I'm pretty close to the guy.
All you gotta do is make it to the dance, man.
Hey.
And just like you're asking, overall, Graeme, you're leading the matchups against Simon at 3-1. All time, Graeme holds a 16 plus point margin in all victories over Simon throughout all their matchups, so that's got to be a nice little accomplishment.
Yeah, I guess for
Yeah, obviously not for you.
not for me.
In our final matchup of the week, we had Ty's team, Protect Your Halls, losing to Les's team. Holy shit, Les. We have 5 wins. I did not see that coming. Les's team, Tropic Thunder. With the win, Les, you went to 5-6, and with the loss, Ty, you went to 3-8, just getting it down into the bottom of the league there. Ty, you were led by the Sun God, on St. Brown. With
Stop
39
talking
plus.
about the sun.
Jerry Jones is going to get mad.
Oh,
And Patrick Mahomes, 21 plus points. Last year, we were led by the Texans defense with 33 plus points, and Jamar Chase with 26 plus. Lost by Ty and a win by Sean will eliminate Ty from this year's playoffs. I'm kind of hoping that's going to win. That's going to happen for me. I'm going to get a win this weekend. It's going to be tough. I am going up against Dan, but it really depends on who Dan gets in there for defense, because as I've noticed, he doesn't have anybody currently in there. This was the most points in the season by Les. So good for you there. I think this is the second week in a row that he scored the most points he's ever had after his 59-point fucking performance in week 4 there. It's only gone up for you, Les. It's only gone up for you. So that's all the clusterfuck action that happened over the week. So we'll move into our final segment, our goal-to-goal segment, my final thoughts. And like we were talking about earlier, we're going to get into Mr. Daniel Jones. Daniel, not only did you lose, you snapped because they put you to 3rd, and then they fucking released you.
Yeah, I feel bad.
That's rough though. Like,
Yeah,
I feel bad for fucking Drew Lock.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
you're the backup quarterback all year long.
Yeah,
They get rid of Daniel Jones, and they still don't give you the keys to the car.
He's still the backup, I guess.
Well, I guess he's still the backup, but you would have thought that.
I think
opportunity would
they're
have been
thinking DeVito was going to be the legacy of the Giants.
Really?
Daniel Jones, ever since the day he was drafted, showed incredible flashes of excellence. He's a phenomenal runner, incredibly underrated as a runner.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he'd throw 4 interceptions.
I think
Takes
they
9
were.
sacks in a
I think
row.
the Giants were expecting Daniel Jones to be like the Bills quarterback.
Yes.
And,
Daniel Jones' career with
he's
the
just
Giants
too
kind of
inconsistent.
has ended like his almost amazing touchdown run, just a couple yards short.
It's just like if the Bills quarterback was that much shorter, they would have come too.
Yeah, more than likely. Did you guys happen to see any highlights from the Tennessee game over the weekend?
There was. The game would have been a lot closer. Calvin Ridley had a 51-yard touchdown pass called back on one of those stupid illegal shifts. Is everybody frustrated enough
Yeah,
with illegal shifts?
I think
It's getting fucking
I
annoying.
don't understand what's going on.
I gotta say, everybody in the league, everybody watching, all the coaches, they're all frustrated with that rule.
Well,
What the fuck
speaking
is
of
that?
which-
Where'd that even come from? I don't
Well,
understand.
it's a dumb coach thing. It just started this year,
Doesn't make
And,
sense.
Well, Tennessee's
and,
head coach
it's-
just
I don't-
fucking lost
I don't
his
think it's
mind
like
on
an
that fucking play. He had to be held back by like at least 3 guys on his fucking staff because like I thought he was gonna murder that.
They should have
fucking
let him
referee.
go.
I think they should have.
Maybe
It
that's
would
what
have
he's
Yeah.
made a little bit of a
You know what?
interesting.
there hasn't been
Interesting
enough
thing.
murder charges in the NFL this year. Just let it happen.
Yeah, there hasn't been one since Henry Ruggs. We need a new
Yeah.
one here.
Yeah, we gotta get.
We're actually gonna go check out
There hasn't been one this
the
year.
Ruggs crash scene when we're down in Vegas. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be a great time.
Oh yeah.
Next, the Lions just dominated the fucking Jags over the weekend, putting up 52 points. Montgomery and Gibbs just were going off. Gibbs had 1, Montgomery had 2. So if you have any of those fucking guys, you're going to want to have them in your lineup, that's for sure.
Sure. When the Lions drafted Gibbs 12th overall, everyone kind of went, well, that doesn't really make sense. They just signed David Montgomery. He's awesome.
Well,
And then you see the two running together and you go, oh, I get it.
you got a 1-2
And
punch.
The best offense in the league.
Yeah, and then also when they drafted James Williamson, people were like, "Why are you taking him?" And well, he was out for a little bit because he did some shit in college, and then fucking now you're seeing why they picked him the way
Well, I
they
believe
did.
they drafted him with the
He's
20
explosive.
Yeah.
He had the rehab first, and now he looks.
Oh yeah, it was a rehab injury. That's why he was out.
Yeah.
It's safe to assume
the
he probably had a
gambling
domestic abuse
afterwards.
charge, but no, it was actually a torn ACL.
Did you guys see any of MVS's fucking catches over the weekend?
Oh,
He's looking pretty good. Fucking.
I'd
right
love
now.
to see that connection with Carr and MVS. After seeing Carr and Carr and MVS connecting, after seeing them competing against each other in Las Vegas and Kansas City over the years.
Oh, totally.
To see them connect, it's something that I never imagined.
Oh, totally right.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice to see because they did lose Shaheed, and he seemed like he was their deep threat option.
Yeah.
And now,
Now they got
now they seem to have somebody back again. Saints are actually starting to kind of look like a pretty good team. What about the Baltimore and Pittsburgh matchup? At 18 or 16 to 18 to 16 or something like that. I didn't see the Ravens losing that one.
No, I didn't either. Honestly, I think we were all shocked with that one. Anytime the Pittsburgh Steelers win, I'm honestly shocked. Something with Mike Tomlinson, I just kind of, I don't know.
I like him.
Shocks me every time. I think it's a shitty team and he pulls it through as a great coach.
So I keep getting messages from the pizza guy. It's like, hello, I'm here.
Well,
What?
Well, I think we should call it as
he's not there. Well, you know what, guys? We did the stadium tour today. It was a great time. Had such an awesome day. I will get hopefully some footage from the game on Sunday for you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for having Simon here. Thanks for having Graeme here.
Appreciate you
Thanks
all.
for everybody coming back.
Have a great
Remember to smash that like button. Subscribe so you can get updates and notifications anytime they happen. And leave a comment so I can hear how much you like the episode. So I'll be back next week breaking down everything you need to know.